Webster Tarpley's coming up to get into eugenics with us. He's read the White House battle plan on how to take all your children at birth, how to sterilize them. By the way, Daily Express, it says 20,000 parents will have 24-hour CCTV cameras watching every move they make, that they eat proper meals, go to bed on time, the children will be taken, basically the first time they make a mistake, by armed security guards. Everything is to be a prison. And the United States is going to be the same way. And when they're done, all of your children will be taken and raised in dormitories and turned against you by the state. They mean business. They're so bold. Mike Rivero, what is wrong with the Brits? I mean, they're already proposing this in Houston, too. I mean, does their government think they'll put up with anything?
Well, I think all governments assume that their people will put up with everything until they cross that line and there's a backlash. I mean, if you look at the history of most nations that have had serious political upheavals, it all starts with the government just taking that one step too far across the line. It's like it says right in the Declaration of Independence, people are disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable. But when you get over that line, I mean, that's the mistake that Charles I made. It's the mistake Ceausescu made, Louis XVI, Mussolini. Sooner or later, every tyrant crosses that line where the people just say, okay, this is really more than we can stand. And there's going to be a huge backlash. I think we're very close to it here in the United States. I don't know what's wrong with the British putting up with this kind of constant surveillance. And who knows, maybe there's drugs in the water over there. But all I can tell to our British listeners is, remember, I've been to that Tower of London. That big wood block still is there and ready to be used when you finally reach that breaking point.
Well, there's no doubt that it's brainwashing. Todd in Texas, then John, Aaron, Derek, Ralph. Todd, thanks for holding. You're on the air with Mike Rivero. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. This will be a good segue from Mike into Webster Tarpley. I want to discuss just a public confrontation. We had a visit from the White House Council on Environmental Quality. He's also the Assistant Director of International Affairs on Climate Change. His name is Landon Van Dyke, and he came to visit A&M here in Corpus. And I got a chance to ask him about John Holdren. And he said, oh, yeah, John, great guy. And I read him the quote about the forced abortions and things like that in Ecoscience. And I read the quote, and it was quite a dramatic moment. And I ended it by saying, and if you do not believe me, this Ecoscience book is located here on this campus in the library for you to check out for yourself. And he basically danced around it and said that, there are certain people who are in government, he admitted, that have certain programs. We have to make sure that they don't get in power to realize those programs. And I said, but one thing is the problem here is that they're already in power.
Absolutely. Wow. Do you have video of that? I'd love to put a clip of that in the film.
Okay. Yes. One of our local group members of our
Listen,
group.
Anything on eugenics. The film's done in the next month. I need footage like that. Our P.O. box is on the site. Just send the tape and a letter that I can use it, and it'll be in the film. God bless you, sir. Great points. Glad you called, Todd. Yeah, I haven't asked you about this. What do you think of eco-science and them wanting to terraform the planet and take everybody's children at birth and sterilize the population and drug the water? I have to tell you, Mike, I've read most of the book now. A lot of this has already been implemented covertly.
Well, it's a continuation of the eugenics movement from the 1930s here in the United States. And, people justly criticize Adolf Hitler for a lot of the race hygiene policies that he pursued in Nazi Germany, but they don't remember that he got most of his inspiration from work that was being done here in the United States. And there were forced abortions, there was forced sterilization of so-called undesirable genes, with undesirable simply being criminal activity or prostitution or anything like this. And again, it is a group of people or an individual who decides that they have the right to control other people's lives and reproductive behavior. It's another excuse for tyranny and dictatorship.
All right. I'm going to try to give each caller a minute or so when we get back. John, Aaron, Derek, and Ralph, your quick comments or questions for Mike Rivero, our guest, the Webster Tarpley, waiting in the wings straight ahead. Look, the shirts are being made right now. Be the first to get one. They're available at Infowars.com. The Obama Joker. This baby says a lot, doesn't it? Get your T-shirt today. Well, I want to thank Mike for joining us. Always does a great job here on air. Let's talk to John in Louisiana. You're on the air with Mike Rivero. Go ahead.
How you doing, Alex?
Good.
No matter where these people hide, they can have town hall meetings everywhere, but they will be shut down. When they were at reserve, they got shut down. When they had a press conference, we protested in front of it. these people will fall.
Yeah, we're seeing videos and calls from everywhere that everywhere government goes now, they're being shouted down and confronted, and people are uploading the video to YouTube so it becomes real in cyberspace, and other people realize everybody else is angry like them. Mike, isn't that the final illusion to fall? We all don't believe in the government and the corrupt system, but we feel like we're alone. That final illusion that we're the minority is now dropping.
Yeah, absolutely, you are correct. I mean, the government has held on to power by selling this lie that anybody who doesn't believe in the government is mentally ill, they're a loner, they're a loser, they smell bad in closed rooms, that you should stay away from them. And now, as we're seeing from these videos, distrust of the government, resentment of the government, hate of the government is now the majority opinion in the United States of America.
Well, take the DHS report saying protesting the Fed is terror. That was an attempt at a chilling effect to scare us to shut up. They can't get all of us.
Well, it didn't work because it just angered people even more. Like I said, the fastest way to end a dictatorship is to get them to act like one where everybody can see it, and that's what's happening right now.
Absolutely. Great job, John. Keep it up in Louisiana. Aaron in California, you're on the air right now. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. It's good to talk to you. To continue the eugenics talk here, I wanted to bring up the transhumanist movement and how that ties directly.
Yeah, Julian Huxley, the head of UNESCO, started that in the 50s, saying eugenics had been exposed. They had to change the name to transhumanism and bioethics.
Exactly. And I actually made a film on this called The Age of Transitions, which is a Google video now, that if people want to watch it.
Good.
Yeah.
I think I may have seen that. Was that out a few months ago?
That's been out for quite a few months now. I made it in 2008. It's now 2009. And I continue to cover this issue, and I'm working on more material, too, specifically about transhumanism. And,
well, you know what I'm so proud of? I'm going to put you on hold and later go back to you if you want to hold for Tarpley. But, Mike, it's that listeners, and I'm not bragging, this is what's actually scary, exciting. Every time, it seems, some famous video comes out or somebody confronts a politician or some big activist news comes out, we later find out probably 90% of the time it's our audience. My audience of millions isn't just millions. They're all activists. So is your audience. I mean, that has really got to scare the system.
Yes, absolutely. And people everywhere, they're not willing to stay silent anymore. They're not willing to go along anymore. They're realizing that we've come down to the wire. We're either going to do something about the future of our nation, or it's going to be dictated to us. People are very angry. They understand. I think, in a way, this last election was kind of the final straw, because we all went, we worked through the system, we voted for the candidate, and we still got screwed. And I think that's the reason Americans are saying, okay, the system really is broken. We cannot affect change going through the rules they say that we should follow.
And a couple weeks after Obama was elected, Biden, with a bunch of big-wig Democrats on the West Coast in Oregon, says, look, everybody's going to hate us 6 months into office. We got to ram everything through. We need you bigwigs to stay with us. Don't worry, you'll get all your campaign goodies. So they cold-bloodedly know all Obama was a stumbling block to block people while the elite stole some more goods.
That's absolutely true. You're absolutely correct about that.
Man, I tell you, it's crazy. Mike Rivero, always wonderful having you on with us. We'll see you again next month. I have a sneaking suspicion we'll have you on before that. Take care and keep up the great work.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Look forward to talking to you again.
God bless you. There goes Mike Rivero in Hawaii. By the way, I'm excited about these new T-shirts at Infowars.com. We're manufacturing them right now. Only takes a week. We're going to be the first to have them. Get your order in now.